And I'm using NOKIA 3.1, and today I'll show you a couple of tweaks and tricks that you can do on your device. So this is on Android 9, and for the most part these are all associated with Android, considering this is a stack device. And jumping straight to it, we'll begin with the lack of the rotation, or rotation lack. As you can see now, it's disabled, so if I flip my device like so, it will stay in that position. It won't rotate the screen depending on how the device is laid. And there's a little hidden feature, or maybe not necessarily hidden, but easy to miss, I would say. And for instance, I'm just gonna launch Google, whatever, no thanks. And now that you're in, and if you flip the device, it will stay in whatever mode was locked in, but you get a little button right here now. And if you tap it, it will flip only this application to landscape mode, where you can use it. And if you leave it, it will go back to the portrait. So, and once again, it should appear. Let's see. And as you can see, there it is. And you can flip it over. And if you put it back to portrait mode, it will actually stay till you press the button again. Right here. As you can see, it's okay. So it's a fairly nifty thing, so your screen don't rotate all around whenever you're actually like using the phone at for instance, weird angles. I have this problem with my phone whenever I'm using it while laying in bed, and I try to like lay on the side and then it flips. It's really annoying, so that's a fairly handy feature in my opinion. Now moving on, we're gonna enable the developer options, where you can change a couple of things, but for the most part, for me the most enticing one would be the animation changes. So navigate into settings, then go all the way down into system, advanced, about phone, and again all the way down into build number, and start tapping it 7 times. And once you tap it a couple of times, you will get this little message: you are now 4 steps away from being a developer. So I'm tapping it, and by the 7th time you will need to confirm your pattern or whatever you have set as a protection. If you don't have anything to protect your device, it will just enable it by default and you won't see this screen. So once you do that, you get a message that you are now a developer. And if you go one field back, you just seen developer options have appeared on the screen, and you can go here and you have a couple, or well, more than a couple options here to choose from, whatever you like. For the most part, they're associated with development of apps and stuff like that. So for instance, you have notch options to show a notch where it would be on the screen if you had one, and if you want to develop apps around it, stuff like that. But for what I'm looking for the most part is right here, which is window, animation scale, transition animation scale, and animation duration scale, which for the most part all of them associate with something similar but different. So animation duration is basically whenever you tap the home button and you have that little minimizing window effect, so you can make it super, for instance, long, and now if I tap it, you have this animation dragged out to up unreasonable length. And let's go back and change it back, so we're not here for the next 5 minutes looking at animations. You can also turn it off, and now whatever you do, it will be instant, no animations. Set it back to default. Then you have transition animations, window animations. Window animations is like this thing, so however it looks, you can make it literally pop in and out, or you can set it to be super long. Although windows are fast all by itself anyway. They almost look like they're popping in and out. And you have also transition, so for other windows as well. So yeah, that's some of the developer options. You can also scroll through it and find whatever you like more. Now moving on would be the gesture navigations, which by default I think it's enabled. It's this little almost like gesture button, and there are options that can change with it. So let's go into settings, and from settings you will go into system, which is at the bottom, and then you have gesture as a second option right here, and then it's a swipe up on home button. And for the most part that's basically all it does. I just substituted the home button with additional swipe up feature instead of having this button right there. So not too much of customization there. Probably the least amount of gesture navigations you can get, but it's there. And it's kind of ironic considering Google in their new Android that they're making wants to force developers and basically manufacturers to force them into having a gesture system in their phone, while they themselves cannot make one that is, in my opinion, reasonable. I mean, this is still just a button, and if you go into an app you still have a back button, not a gesture system. So my little personal opinion there, but you still have some options for it, although it's not much. So moving on, we're going to YouTube territory. So there's a option. So normally if you launch it, it will be in white and at night not very eye comfortable color, considering it will blast you with white color or bluish. But there is a way to change it into dark mode, which YouTube has implemented not too long ago. And to do it you will go into settings. So once more tap on your little login and then navigate into settings, and from here into general, and you will see dark theme. So you can just enable that, and as you can see everything goes into dark colors, and it's way more comfortable to use at night or when you're in a dark environment. Just less of eye blasting whiteness on your face. So always, in my opinion, a nice step up. And the last thing I want to show you is the messages, which is messages for web more precisely, which allows you to send text messages from all the contacts and to contacts that you have on your phone, which right now, as you can see, there is nothing there. You can send them on your computer, kind of like Apple has their ecosystem, which allows you to message freely between, for your instance, iPhone and let's say iMac or MacBook, whatever, on their system. This is similar, but you can do it on the browser. You don't need like a specific app. And what you do is, once more, I'm gonna navigate there. So once you're in the Messages app, you tap on the three little dots and go into Messages for Web. Once you tap it, tap on the QR code sensor, and you get this. And then what you want to do is, as you can see on a little message right here, whoopsie, you might want to not destroy whatever like I'm trying to do, but basically you can go into additional, I'm gonna go into Google, and I'm gonna type in the message that you see right here, which is messages.google.com/web. So okay, so as you can see now it's typed in, or barely can see it, and what you get is this page right here. Okay, and you have a QR code right here. What you want to do is just take your phone, which right now has a camera on, as you can see, and just get over the little QR code, let it scan like it did right now, and it will connect to to your phone on your web, or your Google will basically connect to your phone and will pull all the messages and contacts that you have on your device, and will allow you to send messages from your computer to people that you would message on the phone. And whatever you send on the computer will also be sent on the device, because it still uses it as it still needs to use your SIM card to send SMS messages. But it's fairly nifty thing if you, for instance, at work or using work phone, it's a nice thing to enable, or even at home. So yeah. So that would be all for the tweaks and tricks. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.